Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over how to find ad angles to actually make a winning Facebook ad. We make ad creatives that have generated over $200 million in ad spend to contribute, very high growth to direct consumer brands. We make ad creatives every single week and then we deliver them and of course iterate based off the top performers and test new angles every single week. So this is exactly how we do it and how you can replicate this entire process. So the first thing is, of course, you have to go through your customer reviews. What are they saying? What language are they saying? Is there words that they're using that you can use in an ad, in a headline? Can you base an entire script around these things? What are they saying? Are they using specific phrases or terms that you can actually, pull from and just, give you some real world, real-time type of feedback that you can, begin to use in your ads, as opposed to just using the very, generic, general, 3 reasons why, here's why I hate this, like all the basic stuff. Now you can move more into, really, fine angles that are going to be, a bit more drilled down into what your audience is actually dealing with. So, understanding your audience at this point. Of course, you have some purchasers in. Maybe you're at a point where you're spending, hundreds of thousands a month. But at this point, you need to just really, drill down and dig into what your audience is actually feeling, what their pain points are, and then what problem are you really solving for them. We have a research team that consistently does this. Like we have a brand, the research team goes into all of these different things, whether it's, Reddit, reviews, what are these people commenting on the actual ads? How are they speaking in YouTube videos, doing an unboxing? Of course, looking at TikTok, just reading and diving into as much research as we can to then base the scripts around. So start with the customer reviews. Second, of course, is your competitors' ads in their ad library. So you can go to the ad library. If you're selling, let's say, a pillow, right? You're going to type in pillow or side sleeper pillow, or just, if you know a pillow brand, you can type in whatever it is, Dream Cloud if they're selling pillows. I don't know, there's tons of pillow brands. You can type them in, see what they're running, and of course you can search by highest impression or newest uploaded. So if you see that they're running something that has a lot of impressions and now you see their most recent uploads has something to do with the highest, impression ad, they're iterating and that angle is clearly working. Or you can see the, highest impression and you can iterate on it. Just see what's working for other brands and cycle it in. That's probably the easiest one out of all these. I probably should have put this at the last, but that's a very, very helpful one. So the ones that are running the longest, most impressions, are obviously the top performers. It's possible ones like a retargeting or like, it's just being run to run. It's not the best top performer, but you get it. You go to the top 5, go to the top 10 ads they're running for the longest time and, base the ads around those. Number 3 is talk to your customers directly, right? So you can have an auto email that sends out, if you make a video for us, if you send a review, we're going to give you a 25% off discount or a 50% off or whatever. Give them an offer to give you some real feedback. What did you like about the process? What didn't you like about it? I know some brands that actually call the customer and say, hey, just wanted to check in on your order. Some people actually have made ads about that, like calling people that bought 50 pairs of boxers and like, why do you love our boxers so much? Like, oh, I like the way it fits. My wife may be obsessed with them. Whatever. That's an amazing ad alone. So if you actually ask people, what do you love about this? What did you hate about the process? You're going to get a lot of great feedback that you can actually use, of course. Were people skeptical when they first, saw the ad? What caused them to actually purchase? You can really ask this. You can even ask your friends, have them look at your ad and tell them to be like brutally honest, or, send the ad around if people don't know it's your brand. Be like, hey, this is a crazy ad. If they're like, oh, this is terrible. You're like, oh, but if it's good, they're going to be like, oh, wow, this is crazy. I kind of need this. You're in the right ballpark. And then it depends on your volume, of course, and how many sales you're actually generating, your revenue, to see how many people actually, are purchasing your product. But you could send emails, you could call them. I don't really know the laws about calling a customer, but just call them, see what happens. Hey, we love that you're a customer. Thank you so much for purchasing. Want to know your feedback on the product. What caused you to buy? Were you hesitant about buying? Who would influence your decision? Were you looking at other alternatives? See what they say. Or you can send them, hey, can you make a video for a $100 Amazon gift card, and then you can run it as an ad. There's plenty of things to do with your actual customers. The Reddit and other forums, right? So there are forums for absolutely everything, and everyone's talking on Reddit. So if you type in side sleeper Reddit, there's so many things that people are actually saying that I would never think of, right? I made videos in the past about this. People are like, yeah, I toss and turn like a rotisserie chicken, and that's insane. You can use that in a headline. You can use it as a sheets company, a toss and turning from mattress that's getting hot, or a blanket that's awful, a pillow that's awful. I mean, that's crazy. Another thing that spins around. I don't even know. Like I was moving like a merry-go-round, or I was moving like a I have no idea. Like, what, just there's so many different terms that people are saying to describe their pain because they want to bring humor to it, or they're just using, something that relates to them to describe this problem, or they talk about it with their friends. Go into these forums and really understand their pain points, and you don't have to engage, but see like the ones that have a lot of comments. What are the comments that people are actually replying to? You're gonna find a lot in there. You type in so many different keywords. So side sleeper Reddit. You can type in hot sleeper Reddit. You can type in curved pillow Reddit. You can type in hate my pillow Reddit. There's so many things, so many different ways and phrases people are talking about one specific problem. And your job is to find all of these different ways to describe this problem. You're going to take all these ways and make different scripts about them and different concepts, right? So Reddit is an amazing place for it. The 5 core angle types to test, obviously these are the basic ones, but it really is great to start here. Is tired of blank. So tired of, a flat pillow, tired of sleeping with a flat pillow, tired of sleeping with a hot pillow, tired of not being able to find a pillow as a side sleeper, or side sleepers hate this. So then what if you could, get 8 hours of sleep? How would you feel? This is what happens if a 4-hour sleeper actually eventually got 8 hours sleep. They switch to this pillow, and then now they're up at 6 a.m. ready to take on the day. Curiosity, this weird trick that, transforms sleepers' lives, transforms sleepers' mornings, right? So you can say, I used to need coffee, 4 cups of coffee. Now I get a good night's sleep and I'm, doing great. Why X amount of people switch to this pillow. You can go into how many reviews you have if you have a lot of reviews, and then why X doesn't work and what does, right? So why this pillow, why department store pillows don't work, and this side sleeping pillow specifically, why this does, right? It's curved, it has this, it's adjustable, it breathes. All your value props. There's so many different ways and different ways you can take these different angles. This is just like the core. This is the main messaging, right? And then of course you have to weave your angle and your demographic and your pain point into these frames. They're just frames, and then you have to weave your pain points in. This is a really fast and efficient way to test the angles before you invest some money, right? So typically, of course, either you're paying us, adblend.co, makewinningads.com, to make your ads, or you want to test some angles, right? We do this for our products, and we do this for some brands as well, right? So if you want to test an angle without creating an entire video concept around it, you can test them with statics. So you could do a quick headline, picture of the pillow, picture of whatever your product is. Side sleepers are finally switching to this. Why 1,000 side sleepers are obsessed with this pillow, and then test all these different headlines, image, what gets the highest click-through rate, make a video about that. That means people are relating to this headline, to this pain point, and that's the angle, right? So you're taking that angle and expand on it for the video. And of course, this is exactly what we do every single day. We're delivering hundreds of ads every single week for our clients. This is how direct-to-consumer brands are actually scaling their ad accounts. We test tons of different formats, street interviews, unboxing, voiceovers, every single format except for like Super Bowl commercials, basically. I don't want to deal with the polished stuff. We have done it. We can do it. I just, it's tough to get a real lift from that. But this is exactly how to find angles to make a winning Facebook ad. If you want us to do this, absolutely we can. Click the link below, makewinningads.com. Schedule a call. We'll talk very soon. If not, follow this and then hit me up and let me know if it worked for you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it.